Give me just a second, everybody, so that I can share out really, really, really fast. Once I can see where it's come up here. Ooh. Turn the volume down. Da-da-da-da-da. And then also share it to my one group real fast. Give me just a second, guys. We have a lot we're going to be talking about tonight. I just want to get on one of my pages because I want to make sure that I can look something up. I know I'm probably going to bring it up, and I didn't write it down, so I want it here for notes. Normally I go into the whole hoopla about, Matt does his crystals, and I have my sales and so forth. But tonight there's just so much to talk about that I'm kind of more or less skipping that. If you are interested in booking an appointment with me or anything along that line, all the information is in the description box. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say on that. I'm sorry, I'm lighting some incense because we got a lot to talk about. Get a sip of my drink and get into this. I was lighting my Moldavite incense. Helps, keep that energy good and positive and uplifting. Because this is breaking the cage. It is breaking the cage for January 30th through the 5th. Now, this little session of breaking the cage is going to be a little bit different, a little bit odd, because of the way Spirit's giving me the information. And they're even telling me to relax and go with the flow a little bit more about it. Hold on. They're telling me to be comfortable, loosen myself up, and, let it go. There has been a lot of conversation about the comet that is coming through, and that the comet, is supposed to be the closest that it's ever been to the Earth during this week, and that it's a green comet, as well as it has a lot to do with the heart chakra. Now, in one sense, this is true. In another, it has nothing to do with the comet. It's also in the astrology. But what Spirit is directing me to, as funny as it is we need to really start getting into our own inner Yoda, is the way that I perceive it. They're giving me in the form of, as we start to move forward and we start to make these changes, and we start seeing the way the world is going to shift and our individual lives are going to shift, we need to really start mastering our own inner Yoda. And the way they gave it to me is your own personal internal oxymoron of your spiritual mainframe. You know that's spiritual when they go through all of that big hoopla of putting it into the way I see your inner Yoda. They're reminding us that spiritual mainframe is not meant to be looked at as part of the hive mind, your own individual energy. It's hard to explain it because this is why they gave it to me in that oxymoron energy, because you've got to understand, in one form, you are a product of your own energy, your own vibration, but you're also a product of your environment. And in a form, they mirror and they show themselves. When we start looking at it from the way Spirit was giving it to me, is that oxymoron of your own spiritual mainframe. They're connecting it to the idea and the energy of Mars, because of the metal, the iron that would be considered of the mainframe, which is directly connecting us to our own personal Mars energy, our own personal energy. As they start getting into the blueprint a little bit more and a little bit deeper into the heart chakras and stuff, I'm going to go all over the board with different ideas that most of you have never heard, because I'm stepping out of that mainstream and away from your regular chakra information and what the healers all that information that they teach you about your chakras. And I'm going to step away from that and deeper into some of the truths here. But when Spirit's giving me that Yoda, that mainframe, getting into what I always call my own personal, Alice in Wonderland, my own personal cartoon land, this is not the hive mind. This is activating your own mind. Activating the program of yourself, the program of your own individual mind, your own individual creation, your own individual universe, and start seeing that everything we have and we see and we are part of what we take part in. Let me take you back for a second. Like I said, they were connecting it with our Mars energy. Now, Mars just went direct, 2 weeks ago? That has a lot to do with what I'm saying right here. It's connecting us with our own personal human strength, our fortitude, our honor, our courage, our sharpness, but sharpness in our body, in our physical world, as well as in our mind. And confidence. It's speaking to us of that whole ascendant side of who and what we are. And whether it's an astrology chart or not, this is speaking to us of our own personal motivation. It's speaking to us of our own individual ability to connect with our own drive, our self-development and self-awareness, as well as acknowledging when we are acting from impulse or impulse versus instinct versus your being and thinking. A lot of this does have to do with the heart chakra, coming back to our wholeness, coming back to our oneness, coming out of that hive mind and getting deeper into understanding that you create your own reality. And taking the responsibility of it, taking that accountability for the reality you're creating by acknowledging your awareness versus your lack of awareness. And what they're reminding me is we're getting schooled just a little bit, but not in a bad way. What they're reminding me is as we're growing, we're spiritually evolving, we're coming into higher vibrations, we're coming into higher dimensional energies. We're starting to look at time and the different burritos of what time is, and how in a form time matters yet does not. In a form, the way they explained it to me is, who's to say which reality is the true, real, honest reality? You create the reality. So who's to say what you're creating isn't absolutely true, but that doesn't mean it's true for someone else. And understanding, we've got to go all the way back to that void again. We've got to go all the way back to the consciousness meeting the void, or the void starting to see the light and the consciousness, and boom, and now here comes all of the questions and all of the curiosity, all of the manifestation. The manifestation is coming in like that, whether it's good or bad, is what I'm being given. And it's reminding us that, like I said, everything, every breath you take, you are breathing into reality. Every thought, every action you take, you are breathing into reality. Are you being accountable for all of your thinking and all of your actions? Because it has a lot to do with what we're going to be seeing over the next couple months. Like I said, we're at a bit of a preset. And when we start looking at it from that comet energy coming through, I believe and I don't want to sound like I don't believe in it. I haven't done a whole ton of the homework, but I believe that the green comet is supposed to have been, like, we haven't seen it for like 596 years, and it's like the closest it's been to the Earth right now this specific week during like February 1st and 2nd and 3rd than it's ever been, and its energies are definitely attacking or I shouldn't say attacking, but influencing the heart chakra. But the heart chakra, according to the regular astrology, has a lot going on. If we are truly paying attention to what we're creating, we're acknowledging where our spiritual growth is still elementary school, where our innocent arrogance is still just beginning of awareness, where we've only kind of cracked the door open. We haven't blown that door wide off the hinges and we're like walking into the infinite. We're still learning to understand, according to what they were giving me, about that oxymoron, spiritual mainframe, and your ability to create and everything, and realize, well, just create it. I do this all the time, people. I catch myself in the negative three-dimensional world, and I'm like, how did I get back on autopilot? When did all of this crap start? Stop. Let me sit down. Let me collect myself. Let me discreate. Now let me recreate. And that can play havoc on your heart chakra, on all of your chakras. Like I was saying, this comet that's coming through is being spoken of connecting with the heart chakra. Well, let me pull this up so that I can get into it before I move forward. Some of the symptoms of an imbalanced heart chakra, and I'll be the first one to admit, I am a Cancer moon. My heart chakra and my chakras are always out of balance. I'm constantly having to retweak them. I'm constantly having to put them like on life support and let's juggle you right back into correction. And I do it with tuning forks for me. But to start feeling that support, that chakra source energy start circulating it properly and feel my imbalances and let me balance them so that I can get right. So I'll be the first one to admit, I understand this. Often imbalanced heart chakras, which is also called Anahata. Anahata is the original name coming from Hindu or Hindi when they came into the chakras. It's one of the products that I make, and I named it this way on purpose because not just is it the heart chakra, but the meaning of Anahata is unhurt, unbroken, and unshaken. Putting you back into your infinite power, your security. That's what a lot of this comes down to, is how secure are you feeling in your heart? How connected are you to your heart? Some of these imbalances are being or noticing that you have too much attachments is typically an overactive heart. Oversensitive about anything deals with that overactive heart chakra. Jealousy. Then you have heart and lung problems. When I get into the blueprint, I'm going to start making this make a whole lot more sense because this is also connected to all of these people that you're seeing coming out with the heart problems, the lung problems, the diabetes problems, the stroke problems, dropping dead. This has to do with connecting with that. And are you really in your heart space? Are you really living your life from that heart space? And if not, let's see where there's a problem here and start fixing it so that you really are living your best life. But we have to learn how to understand where we're creating it wrong, by where our heart's messed up. And I'm just speaking of the heart. I'm not even getting into the other chakras for just a moment. You have lack of emotions, deals with an underactive heart. Not feeling loved. Depressed. Envy. Having too much attachments. Too much detachments and not enough care, love, so to speak. No control over your emotions in any way and have major outbursts. Lack of compassion and underactive, undercaring. Not being not being able to maintain a healthy relationship, lack of self-love. One seems to be a humbug, like bah humbug, in denial of their own clarity, their own truth, their own health, and simply is an overactive self-critic. A lot of us are one or the other. We're bouncing back and forth. This is why it's important for your chakra systems to continue to run properly. But here we go into the theory that you're getting from everybody else who is on that, here comes that comet, that green comet. And yes, in theory, according to the mainstream, the heart chakra is the note of F. So anybody who does healing work, and the reason I can do this is because of the spiritual energy, the spiritual connection I have with them, and the fact that I rewrote, the Starlight Code blueprints, your connection to your Starlight codes, your connection to your program. I had it, altered and rewritten 2 years ago. And as I'm doing this, they started teaching me about it as far as the vibrations and the vibrations and the frequencies. And your typical idea when you go into pulling up for meditation for the heart chakra, you either could get tuning fork energy, hertz energy of what the heart chakra would be, and it's an F. Technically, do I have it here? No, I didn't keep it according to the, hold on, I might be back here. It might be, no, because I don't deal with them from the chakra perspective. The actual, technically, it is an F, which is the heart chakra. Now, the thing is, your front chakras are all solid notes. Like your crown chakra is a B. Your third eye is an A. Your throat is a G. Your heart is the F. This is what you've been hearing for those of you who follow this information of this comet coming in. That green comet connecting with the heart. See, in Hindu, the true original chakra energies that were given to us, that wasn't a red chakra for heart. It's green, and it still is seen as green that way, even though a lot of people still, even though the root is connected to the red, they want to connect it like Valentine's Day, the red to the heart, and that's not the case. So this is connecting to, as Spirit is putting it to me, our acceptance of ourself and the world around us, the people in our lives, for who they are, not who you want them to be, not who you expect them to be, not who you think they are, but accepting them for who they are. Now, hear me clearly. Accepting them for who they are does not give them a rite of passage to do you ugly, to do things wrong. It's called truth. Being able to come into your higher spiritual truth. We are definitely getting a lot of energies that are coming in right now that my guides are reminding us, be aware of hollow promises, hollow apologies, hollow threats even. There are people out there who are trying to manipulate you by showing how big and bad they are and threatening you and pushing you around, belittling you, because some of you are afraid to stand up for yourself. Some of you don't have that self-belief, that projective energy. Others, it's you've got too big of a heart and you let things happen. This is speaking about accepting people for who they are. Doesn't mean you want to keep them. It's acknowledging the truths of if it's hollow dreams, hollow wishes, hollow tears, hollow apologies. The truths are important right now. One of the sounds that go with the heart chakra is yam or yam, yeah. And the more that it vibrates, the more that it's wiggling and loosening up blockages. That's part of why throat singers start practicing in these different sounds, because they are vibrating their body. That's part of how you also connect with tuning forks. But you could always go to, you know, a Reiki healer or a shaman such as myself and start to help find that alignment if you can't get to the actual vibration. And I will tell people that when you tap into meditations, you know, like for the heart chakra, again, let me go back. Originally, the idea here for that heart chakra is the F frequency. But when I start looking into the blueprint individually, that's not always the case. Remember, each one of you have your own special oxymoron mainframe. Each one of you have your own mainframe that is disconnected from the hive mind. If you can activate it, if you can get into that iron of it and send the new signals through the body, changing your vibration. And one of the best ways I'll put this, and I will not tell you to do this on your own, because like for me personally, I'm a Leo. I was born with the sun in the heart. Okay, so for me, the best way to balance my heart chakra is the planet that is in my heart. So if I play the sun tuning fork to my heart, I'm a Leo sun and a Cancer moon. So if I play like the Leo, not the Leo, the sun, well, they'd be one and the same frequency, which is 12622B, to my heart, it will balance me right up. And then I start coming down into my chest energy, which is where my moon is, and it will start to balance that. Like I said, sometimes you have to give yourself, what is it, like a shock alignment? But I always started with F and then went into the sun. See, this is part of what I'm saying. Each one of you have special vibrations that is not in the mainstream, not giving to you from the mainstream idea, simply because, I mean, how could they teach you that according to where your heart chakra is, or according to what different planets that are in your body on certain, you know, alignments with certain organs, retrograde or direct, making that more powerful to override the idea? They're not going to teach you that because they don't want you to find that healing, nor are they capable of teaching it. Most people don't care to get into their astrology, their deep soul healing on that level. That's part of why I said for now on, I don't do Valentine's Day. For now on, February for me is soul food month. And I'm getting into that soul food connection, into that heart connection. And if the heart isn't right, then nothing else is going to be right. But at the same time, you can have plenty other chakras imbalancing it. Another thing that I get into when I do work with my clients is I will get, like I said, your front chakras are all A, B, C, D, F, you know, coming straight through here. Straight. The back chakras, which a lot of people don't like to talk about, like the higher heart chakra, that zeal point chakra, these are all flats. And I will say 1,000,000 times to people when I am working with someone, one of the easiest ways to help balance that zeal point, when that zeal point is getting cluttered with muck, cluttered with negativity, and the way you're viewing the world is G flat. No, yeah, G flat. Sorry, G sharp. It's always sharps in the back. And it will help unless you have a planet in your blueprint overriding that. Then that means you need something specifically different. You have no idea the amount of vibrational frequency and how each organ, not just your body as a whole, has one vibration. I tell people all the time, your mind can have one vibration, but your body can be on many different other vibrations. This is why you can't follow the mainstream ideas of these chakras in just this way. The way one person interprets emotions and stores it in them without being able to clear it out of them, causing these blockages, does not mean that Larry, Joe, Sam, and Kenny all do it the same way. Our bodies are the same, yet absolutely individual to ourselves. And we have to start being aware of our own energies, of our own blueprints, and taking our power back and correcting our vibrations. Hold on. I can't go in individually into that other than the fact of, like I said, your planetary energies in the body will override, especially on notes, especially on the frequencies and the vibrations of a tuning fork, or if you were listening to it from, you know, a meditation. And when you're doing it, the vibration is what you're after, not the sound, but it will help. But understanding your own personal will make things completely change for you. You have to understand that with this, we are coming into, you know, changing our blockages. We're unleashing our blockages. We're breaking them up. We're dissolving them. This is part of, like I said, that need for throat singing and understanding, you know, like, you're vibrating inside the tones that help break this. You want to make sure, though, that as these blockages come through, and you're acknowledging them, and the negativities are showing themselves, especially this week. It's not just because of that comet. That you address that acknowledgement of it. You address the acknowledgement of it, but you don't stick with it, because the manifestation is coming in so quick, it will pull you down into a lower vibration quicker than you can understand. And I cannot go on and on and on more than I deal with people about vibrations have margins. There's the top of the vibration and there's the lower part of the vibration. You cannot be at the top when you're at the bottom. You can't be at the bottom when you're at the top. You cannot burn the candle at both ends. You have to pay attention to the energies of your environment. The energies of your environment are speaking to you about the vibrations of your life, and if they are vibrations that are satisfactory or not. And then it's showing you if, in fact, you are in the vibration you want, so that you can redirect. I am being given, before I get into the blueprint and the astrology, I am still being given the goat. I was given the goat last week, and I'm being given I'm definitely standing on cliffs. This is a good thing, but watch your step. Because the goat is known for climbing and scaling very thin cliffs that look impossible to get up, but they find a way to do it. Their footing. They're very grounded in their footing, and they exactly are able to scale those thin walls. That's what I'm being given by Spirit right now. Not just your grounding energies in your emotions and what's going on, but you are climbing a very thin wall. And understanding that if you focus like the goat, you can do so. But you are going to acknowledge that a lot of this is going to have to do with juggling judgment and forgiveness, judgment and acceptance, tug of war. And like I said, from the beginning, when we allow ourselves to accept people for who they are, that does not mean we're making them who we want them to be. And it does not mean we have to keep them. It just means that we acknowledge exactly who and what they are, so that we can then deal with the truth. In this, we're becoming our inner Yoda. But remember, right now, in order for us to do that, a big part of what you're going to be seeing over the next 4 months is really, really stickler for rules. I know a lot of people don't like that, but hear me out. Rules are not always not meant to be broken. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. But what I'm trying to get at is, you are going to see people try to push their way Try to break those boundaries right now. Try to manipulate the situation, belittle the situation, try to push their way through. They're going to be pushing those boundaries. And some of these boundaries, these rules that we set right now are important because it has everything to do with you coming into your power. It has everything to do with you coming into owning your energy, creating your energy, being the master magician, manifester, magical being that you were always meant to be, creating and connecting to your mainframe, not the hive mind, not the autopilot, but this is going... No, I don't think so. This ain't going down here. I'll be the first one to tell you, and I don't know if I should even say this tonight. My original spiritual growth really started when I got robbed at gunpoint. And when I got robbed at gunpoint, everything for me, I got scared out of my mind. I got scared of my own shadow. All of the spirit energy started coming back. It was all dark energy because of what brought it back. But what put me on my path was a shock and awe moment that put me back on it. We all have different forms of shock and awe moments. And sometimes you have them again, reminding you, the universe is trying to talk to you. Your guides are trying to talk to you, trying to, if you're tripping over your own feet and fall flat on your face, that might be a message. There is different things that put you on your path, and are you being aware? Are you seeing it? The other thing is I am a Leo. I mean, when I was robbed at gunpoint, I was also cocky. I was like, no, I ain't gonna open that register. You come over here and you do that yourself. I mean, who does that? And the reason I'm explaining that is, see, I had somebody get cocky with me just today and threaten me with a hollow threat. Are you going to follow? Are you going to fall for those things? Is what I'm trying to say. I mean, literally, like, threatened to pull out a gun on me. And my point is I knew it was a hollow threat. I'm not saying for you to go out and be cocky like this, but what I'm saying is trust your intuition, trust yourself, trust your confidence, trust your inner courage, your inner strength, your inner mainframe, your inner ability to create your reality. Are you going to be manipulated by hollow threats? Will you fall for hollow tears? You know already when you're dealing with people if it's hollow or not. Are you being hollow to yourself? Are you ready to actually step away from that hive mind and start accessing your own mainframe and not falling for the hollow that's trying to keep you pulled down? When I get into the blueprint itself, the blueprint has not just that comet energy, the blueprint has a lot of energy going on with the heart chakra this week. I've been saying the whole time, Mars is in Gemini, which is exactly what I was talking about with that heart chakra connecting with the iron, connecting with our communication and the Gemini energy. Your warrior, your confidence. I always say your warrior is also your inner belly dancer. If you could be the biggest, fattest sumo wrestler person out there, and if you feel comfortable getting out there shaking it, then you know what? Good for you. If somebody don't like it, they can turn their face. You can be the thinnest, skinniest, anorexic one, and if you feel good about yourself, then good for you. It's about how you feel about you, how you vibrate, and what you accept and love about yourself. That's what builds your inner warrior, what builds your courage. Your communication is still in Mars right now. Mars is still in Gemini, in your communication on a universal scale right now. So it is speaking to you about speaking your truth, but speaking it without losing your mind, speaking it from a true warrior perspective. Do you see through the hollow threats? Do you see through the hollow lies? I don't have to lose my mind and act a fool. I won't play. I will stand in my power. This energy is literally sitting on the thymus glands in the throat. And the other thymus, the thymus glands. And then you have Uranus and the north nodes, which are still in the throat as well. Chiron, which is in the tongue. The wounded healer, Uranus, independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, all throat chakra, but it's mixing with the heart and the throat, communicating your truth. Are you getting choked up? Are you having a problem? Is the heart and the throat not communicating properly? Are you having a problem speaking it? Because let me remind you, Lilith is still in Leo. Lilith is still in Leo. She is speaking to you from that 5th house on a universal scale, even though it's in the body of your freedom, your ability to enjoy life, pursuit of pleasure, to create. When are you going to do what is best for you? Independence, inspiration. She's reminding you, you weren't just set back here at this time to do a job. You were sent back here to enjoy your life, to correct problems, and live a better life by being a better you soulfully. And what I mean by being a better you soulfully is vibrating with your true vibrations, your true truths. Not necessarily doing good deeds, but your true truths. Are you enjoying it? The moon this week is going to be traveling through. It's going to be going right over Mars, right over Pallas, right over Lilith. So it's going to be going over Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. The heart chakra, the chest energy. The moon is your emotions. It's your emotional mood. For each day it changes as it shifts. Not to mention the moon speaks to you in your blueprint of blood, water, fluids, lymph nodes, your menstrual cycles, liquid. It is your tides, high and low tide. It's not even unheard of that the people with the heart chakras that are so out of balance, that are so lack of loving themselves, they're so in denial right now, are having troubles with the breathing. Not to mention if it had anything to do with that, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But these energies coming right now are so incredibly sensitive because of that Lilith energy going on in the heart. You've got Pallas, which is Athena, the warrior goddess, going through the 4th house of Cancer in your body, the gastric energies, the digestive energies, and it's digesting if you're in your inner peace or not. This is all going back and forth, up and down, illuminating on your heart chakra. Are we good? Are we not? Are we good? Are we not? Are we good? Are we not? Why do you think you keep seeing so many health problems popping up? These energies are helping bring it out. It's up to you to be aware of what you're doing with these energies. Are you healing them? Is there hope to heal them? Have you ignored them so long? There's always hope. There's nothing you can't create. If you can connect with your own, as I like to put it, I will jump right out of this 3-dimensional world. I'll jump myself right into my Alice in Wonderland world. I'm going to discreate this shit. You know what? The universe is mine. Each and every one of us have our own individual universe. I don't have to worry about them liking it. Let me recreate. I've said a million times, to other people, from the Matrix minds, that I have had some soul problems of myself, and I've re-healed them over and over again. And because I'm always having to re-heal them, I haven't fully healed, but I am constantly working on them. And if I wasn't, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be here. You have the power to send that healing to yourself, or at least to get into the power of how to start learning how to do it. Like I said, tuning forks and so forth go a long way. You have the Jupiter energy, which is still going over the ears. Everything that you are hearing from the world around you. Juno is the keys to the energies that are being sent to the chakras, coming through the ears and through the nerves, connecting to the spinal cord, going up and down. Like I said, the easiest way to clear that imbalance out, G sharp, right to the back of the neck, unless you have a planet that overrides it. And then you're getting into all of the low vibrations of the lower part of the body. You have Mercury and Pluto, which are still in Capricorn, in the knees. If you've had some kind of major situation happen recently in the knees, it has a lot to do with the sun just moved out of it. Venus just moved out of it. Pluto's about to move out of it. Mercury just came out of retrograde. How much are you being honest with yourself? Capricorn energy is the knees, with Pluto, death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. Where are you not growing? Because that's what it comes down to. Where are you convincing yourself that it's okay to not to grow? That's what it comes down to. Where are you staying in inadequacy, inferiority? Saturn and the Sun is now in Aquarius. That's the calves and the ankles. And you have Venus, Vesta, and Neptune, which is in Pisces. That's the feet. People don't realize, I've said it a million times, the feet have to be blessed every day. You have to love yourself from the feet up. Your feet are responsible for taking you everywhere you go. Your feet are responsible for everything that you are a part of. Unless, of course, you're in a wheelchair. But this is the idea of what I'm speaking. Your feet carry you. Then your knees are also responsible for the flexibility of being able to carry you. So anytime you are doing yourself a disservice to where you take yourself on a daily basis, to the people that you place yourself around on a daily basis, who is held responsible is your feet. They will try to trip you up and remind you when you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Your feet is also responsible for some of the most malice of energies. Vindictive vengeance. Where are we stuck in our me energy, but we're not in our now? We're not in our creating from our now, and realize, you know what? Oh my God, I might be creating from some negative shit. Hold up, stop. Let me turn that off. Let me turn on my flexibility, because I am the master creator of my life. Let me tap into what gets me into that other vibration. Okay, now we can reconnect. You have to be accountable. You do have some very positive energies coming through this year, but it really all depends on your accountability here. Now, for this week, we have sextile heaven going on. And for those of you who don't understand what I mean by that, is sextiles is one of the aspects of astrology. Sextiles typically mean that there is opportunities here. Seize the day. Because sextiles, especially the more that there are, the more we get comfortable, the more we think we have time to do it, and we don't. And there's so flipping many that I can't even literally see them. It's all on the ascending side of the chart, all on the beginning and the end. Healing the end of one cycle and beginning a new cycle, dealing with all of that Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus energy. It's all about healing your destructive energies, healing your boundaries, healing your individuality of how you see yourself, standing in your power, in your authority. There's sextiles after sextile after sextile. Being able to stand up and come into that courage, tapping into your own personal individual mainframe, not the hive mind, yours, and illuminating all of your vibrations. But you have to do it. Seize the day, because that energy is not always going to be here. You have some trines, which are very good energies also going on this week. You have Uranus, which is getting along great with Mercury. Mercury is in that 11th house, 10th and 11th house. Is it? Yeah. As it starts to shift. Mercury is, I'm thinking of Venus. Mercury is in the 10th house, which is in Capricorn. Still talking about the outer world, the outer authorities, your outer honor, reputation, prestige, career. The authority of the outer world. It is getting along great with showing you are a great individual, that you are independent, you are individuality, that you are able to create and step into your freedom of speech, step into your, individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom. Create and recreate yourself, communicating in a healthy way with the outer world. It is there. If you could slow down, and just like I was saying in the beginning, Spirit was saying a lot of this has to do with impulse versus instinct, with knowing your own being versus thinking. This is a very positive energy. It can definitely be helpful for you. Mars in that communication house is also getting along great with the sun, showing you to be a great group, a great team, person to be on your team, a great leader, group memberships, committees, all the people that would stand by watching your goals and dreams and helping them come true, helping to pat them on the back and just show them, hey, maybe we need to critique this area, but being there. It's showing that this is a good time to stand in that energy. But you have to be there. You have Venus, which is in that 12th house, bringing extra sensitivity to tapping into the insecurities of where you're a little afraid to tap into those insecurities. Guilt, grief, sorrow, shame, blame, your skeletons in the closet. It is getting along great with the South Node. Very comfortable, and let's just wait. If you are in your comfort zone, you are in the wrong zone this week. You have Lilith, which is getting along great with Jupiter. The heart chakra, Lilith, is meant to be a little bit narcissistic, a little bit self-centered. How can you enjoy your life if you aren't part of it? That's what she's here for. I want to burn. I want to enjoy. I want my life to be about me. I want to be part of it. Then I want to do everything else that I'm supposed to do. But I'm here. I exist. I'm important. Speaking to that character of who you are, showing the beautiful being that you are. But you've got to love you in order to see that. Like I said, there are very good energies here this week, but there are some definitely throw down and knock you around energies. You have some unpredictable energies coming in. Lilith and Venus. The 5th house talking to the 12th house. The heart talking about your skeletons in the closet. All of your insecurities. Are you going to hide or heal? That's really what this is going to be. Are you going to be submissive? Are you going to start being bold enough to create your world? You're the master creator. Only you can do it. You have Uranus, which is also very unpredictable energies with Venus. Your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom, your ability to manifest, not just manifest, but it's also the universal second house. The North Node is also here. It's you create from your vibration. You create also what brings to your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, brings also the money. It's tapping into the insecurities. This is saying if you can boldly step into tomorrow, you won't regret it. But you got courage. That's why I said it's unpredictable energy. If you're not in that courage, it may not play out that way. Pluto. Very unpredictable energies with Chiron, Juno, and Jupiter. Your outer world showing exactly who you are. Will it show you as the person you really want to be? The person you are trying to work so hard at vibrating your life to? Or is it going to start showing you, like I said, sometimes we are products of our environment, products of our vibration. You cannot be at the top of the vibration and at the lower part of the vibration. You cannot be a candle burning yourself at both ends. If it is showing you that it's not the vibration you want, it's showing you what you need to critique. It's very unpredictable. It can be giving you everything you want, but are you giving the creation of what you're making everything you need? You also have Juno, Jupiter, and Chiron, which are having that unpredictable energy with that South Node. I can really stand in my power tomorrow. Is that what you want to be? A tomorrow? If you're in your comfort zone this week, you're in the wrong place. You have Mars and Neptune. Neptune's with Vista. And Jupiter and Juno is the commitment. Vista is the keys to opening the door. You have Neptune, the creator of that magic, no matter how you're creating it, speaking to your Mars, speaking to your communication of breaking the chain of where you keep going in the same cycle by speaking it, standing up, breathing your reality into reality. But you've got to speak it. It's just like a spell. Everything we say, I say 1,000,000 times to people. If you were walking around, I don't know how many clients I have had they're like, I'm a positive person. I really am. But then it's the next thing that I hear out of them is, that motherfucker, this, bitching about every single thing. If you were walking around bitching about everything, the universe is going to give you manifestation plenty more to bitch about. This is why they always say gratitude. Of course, we're going to have our moments. We're going to bitch and moan. But you have to really put yourself in check about your words, about what you speak, about what you think, because this is where your manifestation is coming from. If it's not in check and it's on autopilot, you may not be creating what you really want to create. Your communication, your words are spells. You don't have to say it as a spell. It still is. Your Mars is getting along with that unpredictable energy with Mercury. Mercury, still in shadow. Mars, still in shadow. Mercury rules where Mars is it coming from shadow energy? If you're using the shadow energy to teach you, oh, shit, look what I'm doing. Let me change. Take responsibility for it. It's going to be great. But if you're going into that shadow and you're going in deeper and deeper, that manifestation's coming quicker. It will crumble. You also have Mars, which is not getting, which is having that unpredictable energy with the South Node. Popping off the mouth. Impulse. Hold on. Impulse and instinct. Do you know yourself? Can you control yourself? It's all tests. You have what the hell did I write there? Oh, you have a grand square all week and a grand cross. Slightly off, not 100%. These are major challenges. This is why I let it with the positives all the way back to here. You have some major, Spirit is saying, just forget the grand square, it's a grand cross. And what's going on here is your Lilith, your heart chakra, your creative energy, your pursuit of pleasure, your fun zone. Are you getting able to have time for that? Are you making time for you for that? Is having a problem with that Pluto directly across from it in Capricorn. That outer world is going to try to keep you manipulated into doing things that it wants you to do, not what you want to do. Well, you give it power. The outer world, your honor, your reputation, your authority, your society, your jobs, death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. Capricorn, grounding your ability to believe in yourself because you believe in you, not because I believe in this society, not because I believe in this three-dimensional world. This is about believing in creating your own reality by believing you all have your own individual universe. Start accessing it. Those two are part of the cross, speaking directly with the sun, which is not getting along with the South Node, which is not getting along with the North Node, which is not getting along again with Lilith. The sun is in the 11th house, the groups, the memberships, the committees that you are part of. Well, they ambush you and try to manipulate you to doing what they want, to making them look better, to making what they're trying to create happen. But do you have time for yourself? Do you have time to do the things you want, the things that are important to you? The North Node is speaking up for yourself in your power without being like a vengeful lion. Standing in your power. No, I don't have to. I don't have to do this. This is my life. These are the decisions I make. The South Node is going to make you want to follow suit. But will you? Like I said, get out of your comfort zone, guys. You also have Chiron, the wounded healer, in the first house, asking you about your character. It is speaking directly with Mercury in that 10th house. Still in shadow. The outer world, the outer authority, your honor, your reputation, your prestige. The world that you choose to be part of. You are a product of your vibration, but your vibration is also a product of your environment. Acknowledge these two, and where is it working for you and where is it working against you. You have Jupiter, Chiron, and Juno. Commitment, abundance, higher knowledge. Chiron, the wounded healer, trying to start a new cycle, trying to start a new you, trying to start, it's a new cycle, a new you, a new vibration, a new authenticity that you didn't even know about yourself existed, because you know what? I'm tapping into me. I am part of everything, but I'm also that one grain of sand. I had a reason to be here, just like every one of you. We all have crowns. So you can't take mine away either, unless I take it off. But I'm going to tap into me. And it is speaking to you about Saturn. That 11th house, the sun is here. Well, you set the boundaries. Will you acknowledge when they're hollow threats, hollow lies, hollow love? because there's a lot of that hollowness going on right now. Boundaries, groups, memberships, committees that all are capable of helping you build your dreams, your ambitions, your goals, bringing it into fruition, or the very ones that actually will try to take it from you by ruling, only caring about what they want to create. They don't really care about what you want. There's a lot of that hollow energy going on right now that is trying to manipulate and push people around, take advantage of people because they expect you to bow down and just take it. You also have Venus, which is in that 12th house. Insecurities, grief, sorrow, shame, blame, and insecurities. Your inner mind chatter of I coulda, shoulda, woulda. Well, what if I did that? Maybe I should have done this. If I would have done it that way, it would have been no. None of that matters. You didn't do it. Your Venus is speaking to you about trusting in your instinct, trusting in who you are, trusting in your knowing of yourself, trusting in the healing of what you are, because it is speaking directly to Mercury, that outer world, and showing the world. Even in my 12th house, even in the most confusing 12th house, grief, sorrow, shame, blame, skeletons in the closet, I know me. And I am responsible and accountable for everything I'm creating, and therefore you'll never take my crown away. You'll never be in my power because I'm going to own it. I'm going to stand in my power, and I'm going to speak to the outer world appropriately. And last but not least, you do have Ceres, which is in that 7th house, your relationships. And I say a million times, your relationships are any and everything you care about. Not just your children, not just your husbands or your wives, not just your parents, your work friends, your friends' friends. You have a relationship with your job. When you have no job, you know about your relationship. When you have no car, you know about your relationship with that lack of that car. When you have no home, you know about that relationship. Any and everything you care about, you have a relationship with. It is Ceres, karma, the threefold, and she tends to punch you under the gut or in the gut. And it is speaking directly across and into Jupiter and Juno, sacrificing commitment on being the you want to be. I know it can sometimes be scary. Like I said, even me today, I had a situation where somebody was in my face threatening me. But I also know a hollow threat. You've got to be able to stand in your power and go, I'm not going to take this. I love you guys. Bye.